It's always going to be a little bit of a love-hate. You enjoyed your little time off, but then that's the hate. The hate part is you got to get back into it. So, for to have these two early diamond leagues, to go away back to China where I just won my world title. I think it's gonna be a bittersweet thing, because I was enjoying the off season, I was enjoying the grinding and getting back into it, but now it's like, all right, let's get back into it. Let's figure out ways to go out there and win a fourth consecutive world title in Tokyo come September, and I'm excited for the challenge. My team's excited for the challenge, and the practices I've been having have been great. I feel like I'm leaving off right where the Olympics was right before I left for that. So looking forward to that. Obviously, we all know Sub 13 is my nickname. So I want to continue just that tradition of running some Sub 13s. And I know it's April, I know it's early, but I always want to figure out ways and try to get in that early shape and then try to maintain that as long as possible. But the main thing for me is just some type of consistency. If I start the season off at 13-2, 13-1. The goal is to never run 13-2 or 13-1 again. The goal is just to keep dropping. And I think that's going to be a great goal for myself. Yeah, the Diamond League plays a huge role because, these are the building blocks to success, quite literally. If you show up to these Diamond League races and you're running, punchy quick times and, you're taking out world-class fields, regardless if they're Olympic medalists, world medalists, world semifinalists, finalists, you're solidifying yourself. So when the big stage does come, you can just think of it as another Diamond League race. A story that I always have. I got plenty of stories, so just let me know if you want a story. But a story that I always tell is I had just came off of USA trials last year, Olympic trials. I had ran 12:92, 12:97, and 12:86. I think that was the fourth fastest time, third fastest time all time. Actually, it's the fourth fastest because Devin Allen has the third. But I just did all that, and then I flew to Monaco a week later and still was able to run 13 flat on the jet lag and everything like that. So, for me to have that, I was just really excited and always was thinking about, okay, well, if I'm in 13 flat shape, still jet lag, regardless of whatever come, I'm able to, run fast, do certain things, and also, tell my body that, regardless of whatever situation, we're prepared. Yeah, to have a big old diamond sitting in your house and everybody asks, "Is that real?" It's twofold. It's scary and it's nice. Because if it's real, I feel like my friends are going to turn on me. If it's fake, it's like, oh man, you just got fake diamonds still just sitting in the house. But overall, man, I mean, that is pretty much, other than a major title, that's like the next best thing. So for me, I said it before, and I'll keep the trend going since Rory McIlroy just got his Grand Slam. I got my Grand Slam in the sport. I was able to do everything on each level. Indoors, outdoors, Olympics, and on the Diamond League schedule. So yeah, I mean, forever. I've been on the circuit 6 to 7 years now, and not once have I ever had a quote unquote easy Diamond League race. I think all the top hurlers, male and female, there's no ducking and dodging. For us, we have to be able to do those high intensity reps, and not make any mistakes. That's one of the biggest things for hurdles. It's not just who's fast, who's slow. It's, who can run fast and not mess up with the 10 barriers that's in front of them. For me, going against those people, and obviously, the Americans, between myself, Daniel, Freddie, Cordell, Trey Cunningham, we have a new kid on the block, Jacoby Tharp. He's making a little noise on the NCAA circuit. But I mean, for all of us, we all got to get ready to go against each other in late August for the team. And I think that's one of the things where we're just slowly just preparing and sharpening our knives for war. It's anybody's race at that in that case. So, I know at the early stages, everybody's gonna, slowly start figuring out their steeds, slowly start figuring out, ways that they want to, run. But towards the end, I know all of us have the strong capability of running sub 13. And, I'm not gonna exclude the Jamaicans, obviously, with Parchment being an Olympic champion, and Broad Bill getting the bronze this past Olympics. That shows how deep the event really is. Between all the people I just named, I think that's 7 or 8 people that have a chance to win. And as we know, there's only 7 or 8 lanes on the track, so it's anybody's race regardless of what lane you're in. So for me, it's like, you're right, you got to be able to show up against the best day in and day out, and then that's the intensity that I take to my training. I got to be able to show up day in, day out, work hard, lift strong. I got to be able to challenge my team saying, okay, I did not feel good this way at this track meet. What did we do leading up to it? And if it's something that I felt like, could hinder me, let's take it out, let's replace it with something else, and we go back and try to correct our wrongs. Really, honestly, no, 2022 at Zurich, I think that was when I turned around my career. I think I was good. I was really good at hurling. But I think once I won in 2022 at Zurich Diamond League, took out a crazy good field. I think that was when I really turned around my career. I think that's when I was like, you know what, this is what good hurling looks like. Even when you think you were hurling bad, or even when you think you're not, doing to the best of your ability. 2022 Diamond League in Zurich was great. I want to say I ran 13:02. Broad Bill ran 13:07, but he was closing like a madman. But he hit the 7th or 8th hurdle, and I got to the finish line before him. But then that next year, I won the World Indoor Tour, so I got the bye to the next year. And then that 2023 season, I was just running 13 flat, 13 flat, 13 flat, 13 flat, like every track meet. I think Broad Bill actually, he didn't actually. He beat me outright, but he beat me in Rabat, and then afterwards, I don't know, I just hit another gear in 2023. And then when I got to World Champs, I literally got on that plane and I literally told myself, I was like, I'm winning World Champs. Like, my rhythm, I felt strong, everything. I was like, I'm winning World Champs, regardless of whatever's to come. Because I was just running so many 13 flats, and I knew when the game was in the balance, I was going to run 12.9, which I did. I ran 12.96. And Parchment at that race, I want to say he ran 13:07, and Daniel Roberts ran 13:12. But man, like, ever since that race in 2022, I think I really just flipped the script on myself. And then obviously 2024, it's easy for me to say like, oh yeah, that was the best year. That's when I figured out that I was really going to be great. But you got to think back at like, okay, what was the year that I was running bad, and what was that one race that kind of turned around my whole career? And Zurich in 2022, the Diamond League final, was the one that turned around my career for me. Yeah. For me, with all the hurlers, I have a unique relationship with every single one. Obviously, the closest person I'm with is Daniel Roberts. I was at his wedding. I'm sure he'll be at mine. We've been racing against each other since we were teenagers. So I think I have a little bit more of a brotherly love relationship with him. And then, you got the other ones that are, you raced against, and they know your demeanor. They know, who you are, what you stand for, and how you're trying to be a trailblazer for the sport. And then you also have some of the ones where they were watching me as I was watching Hansel Parchment when I was a teenager, coming up the ranks. You got someone like Broad Bill, who was watching me as he was coming up the ranks, and now he's a strong contender at every Diamond League or at every major championship he goes to. So I think it's all about just a little bit of, I think I'll use a lack of better terms, but game recognizes game. We're all missing a little bit of brain cells, so we're all missing something to be going over those hurdles at full speed. So we all are just a tad bit crazy. But at the end of the day, my coach always says this, Coach Holloway always says this, hurdlers are sprinters with an attitude. We got to have a little bit of an attitude to go over 10 barriers as fast as we can, and trying not to fall on our face. No mistakes can be made. You know what? I think I've come to terms with it. Obviously, as track and field fans, you guys know that I am fully and able, capable to do it. But it's the work that goes into it. It's the timing that goes into it. Obviously, you want a little bit of the wind at your back. That definitely plays a huge factor. So I think this will be a great year to take some shots at it. That's the main reason why I am still, running. This is the main reason why I'm still training hard. That's at the top of the totem pole. Excuse me. And I'm really, really, excited for what's to come and how it's all going to unplay. And I'm training my ass off to make sure it happens. And I think that's definitely a huge part. But for me, as long as I keep going out there and giving maximum effort, I think on one of these days where everything feels good, I got my team there, I got my support staff behind me. I think I'll be able to definitely go out there and get it.